Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaking.
John, why do you think elders and deacons are important in the church?
Well, they're called to be stewards of the church. They manage and take care of the church. I've seen both good and bad, and the result of false teachings and things coming in because deacons not speaking up and protecting the church as they're called to do.
How have you personally been impacted by leadership from different elders and deacons at this church or other churches?
Well, in this church, I have grown spiritually. My walk with Christ has grown, and I can't say that about all churches that I've attended. And even a testimony and those around me and what they share in classes and things has really helped me to grow.
What qualities stand out to you about men to serve as elders and deacons?
Well, a love for the gospel, ability to teach, their passion, their hospitality, all those things are important to help grow the church, and it's qualities I look for in a church and the deacons.
Can you share a specific time when an elder or a deacon encouraged you, guided you, or supported you in your faith?
Well, I've been lucky enough to have good mentors, deacons around me pretty much my whole Christian life. Shortly after I was saved, I had a mentor that worked with me. He was also a neighbor and a Sunday school teacher of mine. And I found myself in the hospital, emergency room at Sacred Heart Hospital. My wife was literally on the verge of death. They told me she was not going to survive the night. And after the doctor left my side in the waiting room, I felt a hand come over me, and it was that mentor of mine. And he just immediately started praying. A few minutes later, somebody else's hand was on me. And as they were praying, I heard a voice say, "Be still and know that I am God." When he was done, I looked up, and the emergency room was filled with family, friends, co-workers, church members. I honestly felt a peace that I can't explain from those prayers.
That's incredible. That's awesome. How do biblically qualified leaders help shape the spiritual growth of a church?
To keep it growing, you need to tend the garden, the church. Stones, weeds come in, and you have to protect them. And I think of Proverbs 24, little folding of the hands, a little sleep, and kind of poverty comes. I think a church that is not vigilant in watching what's being preached, watching false teaching come in, the growth will stop. They will decline and decay. And I think it's important that you have leadership, deacons in place that will be able to make sure and protect the church that those things happen so that they can grow.
What do you view as the importance of leadership in general? You've been involved in various leadership roles throughout your life, whether it's in church or business or other aspects. What's just the importance of strong leadership in general?
Protect the focus of the journey, where you're going, keep you on track, making sure you don't falter, and make sure the resources are available and needed, and the individual members under them are protected and guided.
What would you say to someone who might not fully understand why roles like pastors and deacons matter in the local church?
Well, there's two places I look. One is in Acts 6, where there was a complaint that the widows were not being taken care of, and the apostles they needed somebody to wait on the tables and take care of those things so they could preach and pray. And 7 members were picked out of that group to help spread the gospel, keep the Great Commission going. The other thing is Revelations. You have the 7 churches. Our church just passed a 50-year anniversary. Those churches were less than 50 years old, and they fell apart, and I believe that's from leadership.
One more question for you before we go. Say I'm a friend or someone you just met, and I don't have a church that I'm involved in. Give me your elevator pitch for why should I come to the Lighthouse?
If you want to grow, you want to be inspired and challenged, this is a place that will do that. And from my own personal testimony, I've been challenged to serve, get involved, and use my faith. And there's nothing like using your faith. To just have it and not do anything with it can be a miserable state. And the real joy comes in exercising your faith. And this is a place where that can happen.
when everything around